Master Sergeant Jack Trent had spent years leaping from aircraft into chaos, patching wounds under fire, dragging comrades out of hell. As a pararescueman from Redding, California, he was trained to survive anywhere. But on this crisp autumn morning, he wanted nothing more than peace. Back home on leave, he laced his boots, shouldered a light pack, and set out to hike Mount Shasta, a mountain that loomed like a sentinel over the northern horizon. The trail was quiet, pine needles muffling his steps. Jack inhaled deeply, savoring the clean air. He thought of his deployments, the desert dust, the metallic tang of rotor wash. Here, the silence was a balm. Yet Shasta had its own reputation. Locals whispered of strange lights, hidden civilizations, and beings who walked in moonlight. Jack dismissed it as folklore until the shadows began to move. At first, it was subtle, a flicker between trees, a shimmer like heat haze. Then, as he crested a ridge, he saw them. Pale figures, tall and angular, their eyes glowing with cold luminescence. Lunarians, malicious, hungry, and far from myth. They moved with eerie grace, their voices a chorus of whispers that clawed at his mind. Jack's instincts screamed, "Enemy contact." He dropped into a crouch, scanning terrain. No rifle, no squad, just him, a multitool, and a length of climbing rope. The Lunarians advanced, their hands stretching like blades of light. Jack's training kicked in. He hurled a rock downslope, drawing their attention then. Sprinted toward a narrow chute of basalt. The mountain became his battlefield. The chase was relentless. The Lunarians glided over boulders, their forms bending unnaturally. Jack scrambled upward, lungs burning, every muscle tuned to survival. He remembered halo jumps into hostile valleys, remembered dragging wounded men through gunfire. This was no different. Adapt, improvise, endure. At a cliff's edge, he anchored his rope and rappelled down sheer stone. The Lunarians followed, but their bodies faltered in the Earth's gravity, their movements sluggish. Jack hit the ground running, weaving through thickets. He found a cave, a shallow lava tube, and ducked inside. Darkness swallowed him. He pressed against the wall, heartbeat hammering, listening as the whispers faded. Minutes stretched. Then a glow seeped into the cave. One Lunarian had tracked him. Its face was a mask of moonlight, its hand reaching. Jack yanked free his multi-tool, flipping open the blade. Not much, but enough. He slashed at the creature's arm. To his shock, it recoiled, shrieking in a soundless vibration. The blade had cut through its shimmering form. They weren't invincible. Fueled by adrenaline, Jack charged, driving the creature back into the open. The rising sun broke over Shasta's peak, flooding the slope with light. The Lunarian dissolved, scattering like mist. The others, lurking in shadow, shrank from the dawn. One by one, they vanished, retreating to whatever realm had spawned them. On the trail, sweat freezing on his skin, Jack stared at the mountain, majestic and inscrutable. Peaceful vacation? Not quite, but he had survived. And survival was his creed. As he descended toward Redding, Jack Trent carried a new story, one no briefing would ever cover. On Mount Shasta, he had faced the impossible and escaped. For a pararescueman, that was just another day's work.